In my experience, it's only when we truly serve an almighty God and let go of the idea that we can solve our problems materially that we're given visions. When we truly let go of the idea that we can solve our spiritual problems with material solutions, that's when we're shown the end time truth.
It's about Archaix not having any ethics or class. It's about the Red King having class and ethics. So it happens. Archaix said he's gonna drink some beer and take someone down. Looks like he just took himself down, if you ask me. Looks like he just took himself out. There's copters over and over me, and when they do this, it's serious. So I'm grateful for some of the choices, the people I put in my life, who have ethics. I'm glad I chose the Red King. Thank you, God. Choose the Red King over Satan. See how this thing's stopping right here? When I say that? It's a choice between Satan and the Red King. Just came up to me, right? It's like, what do you think? Okay, here's this avatar of Satan, okay, Archaix. And, I have to say, this is my opinion of what he is. I'm basing all this on my supernatural visions, okay, so it's not legal fact per se. So, that legal disclaimer out of the way, basically, because he's threatening to sue his critics. He's threatening to sue me. I'm the first person to ever make an expose video on Archaix, and I'm going to be the last person. So, you listen up close, Jason, because I'm about to explain everything that's happening with you. Okay, so I'm just going to also, give you guys a warning. So I'm going to put Archaix and the Errants on blast here. And I'm doing you a favor, but, you guys are being investigated. You guys, law enforcement's watching you. YouTube's watching you. What you did's wrong. It's part of your criminal cult case coming up. So if you think you're going to blast my channel again, I've got a new YouTube channel. If you think you're going to take it down, you're going to take your own cult leader down. You're going to take Jason down is what you're going to do. So you let my channel stand. You let me criticize him, and he can refute it. But if you think you're going to get in there and play dirty, you're going to find out that you're just going to get your little man put in jail. Okay? This is a cult. You guys are in a cult. And you're just, those report party activities are just more evidence that's condemning you in the cult, and more evidence to bring Jason to trial. Is what it really is. So, just don't get it twisted. Jason is not a truth teller. You guys are not truthers. This isn't part of the truth community. And if Jason was a real truther and a real truth teller, he wouldn't be inciting you to censor his critics. He would be answering his critics and blowing them away and showing them where they're wrong. He's refused to debate any of us. There is a large number of people who've been willing to debate Jason, and he ran like a scared puppy because he can't answer our accusations because he's leading a cult. So you guys, you refute the charges. You don't gang up and play dirty. If you are playing dirty, you're no longer a truth channel, and you're no longer subject to truth or laws. You're subject to rat laws, and we're going to rat you. So we're going to rat him out, and he's going to prison. So I suggest you, if you want to play like your truthers, I suggest you play by truth or law. And truth or law is not dirty. Truth or law is honorable, it's ethical. It does not mean ganging up and doing report parties on people's channels. And I'm sure some of you, including Jason and probably Don Hart, are probably going to think you guys are above truth or law. And you're not going to heed the warning. And I'm telling you, you guys are going to pay a deep, deep, deep price. And it's when people don't follow truth or law, they're not following God's law, and God steps in, and you're gonna get God's discipline. It's what's gonna happen to you. So, be my guest. See, just mark my words. You'll see what happens to your little cult leader in his chrome dome. So here he is. He's a cybernetic being. Here's his little chrome dome. He thinks he was in prison for 26 years, and he read a bunch of books that the beast system gave to him. He's Zachariah Stitchin had a handler who gave him a lot of books. This guy who has a bookstore in San Diego, the Book Tree or something like that. And he was a videographer for Zachariah Stitchin. And we all know Zachariah Stitchin is a massive, psyop, a massive shill. All the Anunnaki stuff is all 100% fake. There's no Anunnaki. That whole thing was just made up. So, this is just fake truth made up by a supercomputer, an ancient living supercomputer. It uses these people, these avatars, these like cybernetic robots, wheels them out on stage and tells you a bunch of lies that it's pieced together, that it's gonna add up. So the deal with this video is researchers are not to be trusted. Researchers are not people you should respect. He's going on and on about research. I'm a researcher. Research data. My data set data. Data. This is all information from the devil, from the beast, and all the like hoopla and brainwashing we've received to respect. Let's play this while I'm talking. Let's see here.
This is part 22 of your new files.
First, let me just explain.
That the material that is presented to
He this guy, I believe he took the poison and he landed himself in the hospital during times, and he had a air tank and everything because he's like idiot. He took the poison. But he can't tell people he took the poison because most of the people giving him money, supporting his channel, are against the warp speed poison. So, this guy's just lost. But anyway, bottom line, whether he took the poison this time or not, brainwashed. He doesn't know he's programmed. He doesn't know he's a put-on being. He believes he's some guy that, made good in prison by reading all these books and getting all this, knowledge. And he just doesn't have any knowledge. All of this stuff is programmed. And I told you I have a friend that's the same scripted character as this. Is actually a natural born human. He's much cooler than Jason. But he did 36 years in prison for a similar crime. It was a murder of a male. He was a male on male murder while he was drunk. So it's in a sex crime, but he was like 18. So he ended up, because of a corrupt parole board, he ended up doing 36 years, and he read all the same books as Jason, and he has all the same theories and same philosophy and same eating habits, same everything. You know what I mean? He's just like Jason. Same voice, same look, same blah blah blah. It goes on and on. So these are scripted characters. They're all around us. You may be one too. Hate to break the news, but bottom line about this, what I'm trying to get to the point here of this. Let's play this, and you don't want to listen to him, but let's. Bottom line. No, I don't want to. I'm not going to play him because then it sounds like it's me talking. Bottom line, this guy right here is all based on research, and all the truthers are being brainwashed by the devil to back all their stuff and do research. And you see people in the comments on BitChute, oh, we'll do the research, or I did the research, or you don't know, do the research. And I'm telling you, if you're a real natural born human and you're close to God, you don't go by research. You go by God's visions and God's guidance. Research is from the devil. Research is evil. Research is what, Einstein did. Research is what Michio Kaku or whatever does. Research is what all the university liars do. Research is for frauds. Research is satanic. Research is evil. And you're following people who think research is good. You're lost. You're not with God. You're with the devil. And I know that'll go counterintuitive to a lot of people, but no, these books are not to be respected. Books are published. The whole system was made up by the beast system. And it's code. It's just like this code you see on the screen. Those are books. This is just an earlier form breaking you into the computer. Look, what my computer is even called, a MacBook. You know what I mean? So no, research is not good because the devil gets in there and provides all the research material and the methods for researching. Like we all know now that science is a lie. Why do you think research isn't? So this is the brainwashed truther syndrome I'm telling you about. You guys are brainwashed, man. I mean, I'm not any better. I was a truther and brainwashed too, and I still have a lot, to work on or whatever. I'm not trying to come out at you as like holier than thou, but I'm just saying, like, no, research is not good. No, not good at all. You're gonna go and find some data, and who put the data there? The devil, and that's what you're gonna go off of. I would rather go off of God's visions. If you get, before we drank all this fluoride and got piffed with all these, everything else, we were told what to do and what to see and what to know. And by God, we didn't need books. We did not need books, and we did not need language. We had telepathy. So I never took any. My parents were hippies. We never went to doctors. My parents distrusted doctors and schools and governments and, any kind of, we grew our own food, all that, communes, all that, or co-op foods and all that, and actually spent a lot of time out in the wilderness fishing and gathering berries and that kind of thing, So, and we had animals, and blah, blah, blah. But bottom line, no, research is not to be respected. I disrespect researchers. I think they're not with God, and I think they're spouting things that come from evil, from Satan. So, and that's why this guy is so big on research, da 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 da, And if you look at these researchers, they don't know jack doodle. They're all lost, and all they do is they're just good liars, That's what I went to university. I have 10 years of university. 10 friggin' years, and all I learned was how to make myself look smart. Didn't mean I was smart or I knew anything, and not all research and da-da, and I could present and I could blow people away in an argument and blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, it wasn't from God. It was from the devil. So no, I do not respect research. So don't come on my channel and ask me to research or do this or do that, because I'm not going to do it. I know what I saw. I had visions. I know what I saw, and I know it's right. But then here's the other point of this video. This guy, he took the jabs, and he's gonna fall. He's going back to prison. I see things. I see through time. This guy's going back to jail. And he's a cult leader, and he's good. There's going to be weird cult sex stuff coming out about his whole cult, his Errants, his Archaix community, as he calls it, and legal stuff, and the community around him is going to come down on him, and this is going to be, it's what's going to happen. It's going to be just like Jim Jones or Bhagwan Rajneesh on a smaller, little local YouTube level, So, no, this guy is not a good guy at all. And the reason I keep harping on him is because he's an avatar of Satan in the truther community. And he's, he's probably the most egregious fake truther there is. And, not only that, he's the most egregious version of the old dragon I've met, and I've met a lot of them. Most of them are a lot cooler than he is, and he's a real know-it-all and a real blowhard and real arrogant and egotistical, and I think most of that comes from a problem with alcoholism. So it's untreated alcoholism that this guy's dealing with, on top of the fact that he's an avatar of Satan. So put the two together and you've got a real piece of work. So no, dude, you need to get your act together, because I will promise you are going back to prison. And you could about face. You could stop being. You could make amends to the little channels you bullied, and stop bullying Billy Carson and these other people. I'm not defending their research or their channels either. I'm just telling you. The reason he's bullying Billy Carson is because Billy Carson is the Red King, and Billy Carson is based on Dudley Do Right, like doing good, like in the Bullwinkle cartoon. Dudley Do Right is the Red King. So the Red King is all over the place,
In the software holodeck card deck, you have 52 players. The King of Hearts is, Dudley Do Right, for example, or, Jay Dreamers is a version, Billy Carson, there's a lot of versions of the Red King, but anyway, he's Adam. He represents Adam, and he's the King of Hearts, and Satan is represented by the King of Clubs, and that's Anubis, the old dragon. He's the old dragon who rises from the earth with lamb-like horns, who swept the third of the angels to Hollywood with his tail. That's Archaix. Okay, he's an avatar of that old dragon. And like I said, there are many avatars throughout society, famous ones, non-famous ones, little
little ones, whatever. They're everywhere. But your famous ones are like Jim Morrison. Barack Obama is an avatar of the old dragon. Snoop Dogg is Satan, the old dragon, Anubis. That's why he's called the dog. Jay Leno, that's why he has Big Dog Garage. So these avatars of Satan are all over the place. Christopher Lloyd, that's why his name is Lloyd. It's an anagram, scrambled anagram. It's Christ offer, old Christ offer, Christopher Lloyd, Back to the Future. See what I mean? I just see these things. People don't see it. It's very clear. These people are labeled who they are, and they have to tell you to your face. But if you have a chemical veil and implants and stuff, you're not going to be able to see this. So that's what's going on here. If you can't see these people as the old dragon, that's why. That's why the people following Archaix, they're under a spell. They're not going to be able to see he's the old dragon. And these two principles are at odds with each other. So Archaix, I've warned you. You need to stop picking on Billy Carson and Jay Dreamers, both avatars of the Red King. You need to stop picking on people. You need to stop picking on smaller channels. You need to stop sicking your errants like they're like a little army on the small Real Truth channels. And if you don't, I promise you, Archaix, you're in a world of hurt. You're going to be in so much trouble. So I do not want to hear you talk about all Jerry those health problems or Billy Carson. You created them. You keep picking on people, and you're going to get sick, real sick. You watch. So you see him in a lot of movies. You see him in fable stories. Bullwinkle the cartoon. He's in Alice in Wonderland or whatever. But the Red King is principled, and Satan is unprincipled. So they fight. And usually the Red King is Satan's enemy. Most of the time, like 75, 95% of the time, they're at odds. And that's why, Jason can't stand Billy Carson. Here's another one. Here's a guy. Let's look it up. Jim, let's see, we got to go to YouTube. Hold on. Okay, this guy I just ran across by accident the other day, and he's Satan. Jim Park. Okay. Let's see. Here he is. He has a channel on the Golden State Warriors. He's just a local little YouTuber. He's got 6.5 7 subscribers. Okay. So here he is.
He's there, and it changed his game. And now that he doesn't really have the same kind of fear, because his free throw shooting has...
You see, he's got that bass undertone voice. Even though he's a little Asian dude, he's got that voice. And he will go on and on and on about this guy, Steve Kerr. Okay, Steve Kerr is the coach for the Golden State Warriors, and he's the Red King. And Jim Park hates Steve Kerr, and he's basically made his whole channel. Let's see if we can find some videos. Basically, okay, let's see.
How about?
Basically, he's made his whole. Here's one. The final days are here. It's over unless it's over for Curry and the Warriors unless Steve Kerr is fired. So basically, this guy's just got a little YouTube channel, but he's made it his mission to get Steve Kerr fired. He hates Steve Kerr. He's just going on and on and on about how stupid Steve Kerr is. And you listen to him, and everything he says about Steve Kerr is exactly like the same words that Archaix says about Billy Carson, because it's scripted rage. It's script. So it doesn't matter what element, the society you're in. Satan has avatars in all elements. In the truther community, he has Archaix and Mud Fossil, and in the sports, community, he has Jim Park and other, avatars. In the nighttime TV show, he has Jay Leno. In the church, Christian church television broadcast, he has, Kenneth Copeland. So Satan makes little avatars in all elements of society. If you were a mechanic or some specialty person, or you're a horse racer or a dog shower or whatever, Satan will be there in certain avatar. There, he has little avatars to sway you away from God, away from Adam and 144, and take your soul. He's everywhere. He's in little meat suit bodies. So, but yeah, he's just going on and on about how he gives all these reasons why, Steve Kerr's ruining the Warriors, and he's such a terrible coach, and nothing will ever, the Warriors are completely sunk until they fire, Steve Kerr. And yeah, see, look, does Kerr realize? See, it's like, yeah, he's just on a tirade against Steve Kerr, the Red King, because he's Satan, and Satan hates the Red King. So let's go. So, yeah, and there's pictures. I have pictures of Archaix in a little mask. He's got little designer panty masks that he's wearing. I mean, what truther was going out and buying, custom made masks in the. Were you? Because I know I wasn't. And I'll tell you, to me, that just sounds like somebody who believed that they needed, And so this guy, to me, I'll bet 99% chance I'll bet money on it. In fact, he took the poison. That's what it is. And now he's a fraud, and he's talking all against it, like, he tries to avoid the subject, really, but he's trying to pretend like he's, didn't take it to his, supporters. And he's made a lot of money. He's got a huge YouTube channel. He's made a whole lot of money. He's bought property, cars, all kinds of stuff. And, he just leased a 5,000 square foot warehouse he's turning into a cult compound. And, no permits, building out this place. And, he's going to get in trouble for that. And thing about him, too, is all that YouTube money, he's not paying tax on it. And he has employees. And he doesn't have any business license or anything for his employees. So he lives in Conroe, Texas. You can look him up, Jason Beer Shares. You can look him up. You can look up his address. You can even, on Tartarian Truth, they show what's probably his warehouse. And I bet if you call the city, I think it's like Monrovia or some near Conroe somewhere in Texas, the warehouse, is he's leasing. I bet you he doesn't have permits for all the work he's doing, and he's got unlicensed contractors working on it, and he's got illegal employees, and he's not, no withholdings, no insurance, all that. So he's a convict. And prior to that YouTube channel, he had a contracting business as a stone, patio guy or something. And he was doing all kinds of, thousands of dollars worth of stone work. And with no license and no taxes, no employees. And there's a 10-year look back on that. So he could be held to task for that too. So, and his new compound is right next to a preschool, which is creepy given his prison, whole background, and his, he's a registered, pedo or whatever it is, I guess, sex offender or whatever. So, this guy, and another thing I saw in visions, besides him growing weed and mushrooms, was he owns a lot of guns. And he's not supposed to own any guns as a convict. And he was trying to come out here to San Francisco to see what my channel's about, to see all the stuff I'm talking about. And he scheduled the trip and he drove all the way out here. And when he got here, I put it out on a video that he had guns, and he turned around and went home real quick because he knew if he got pulled over with any guns, he was up shit creek. So as a as a felon like that. So this is what you're dealing with. And I would never do this to somebody, but he's been so egregious. He's just harassed me, harassed my dogs, injured my dogs. He's harassed my channel, and more than that, he's harassed all these other little channels. And he's such a liar. All of his stuff is a lie, telling everybody this is a simulation. We're not in a simulation. He's in a simulation. He's a cyborg. Yeah. He's like a video game character. So yeah, you are in a simulation, but that doesn't mean I am. Doesn't mean my subscribers are. You and your fallen, transhuman cybernetic errants, cult members are. You guys are in a simulation. But I'm not, and probably most of my subscribers aren't either. We're natural born purebloods, bitch. So no, we're not in your simulation. But that's what the devil always tries to push, is simulation theory. Because he wants to get you into his simulation. He wants you to break free of God's reality. And that's what the whole broken chain on the Statue of Liberty's ankle is about. Breaking free of God. And his slogan for his errands is break free or die trying. And that's a satanic slogan. It means break free of God. Broken chain. You can look it up. It's in Satanism. So this guy's 100% Satanist. I'm going to take him down. I'm going to bust him because of all the stuff he's done. So, and you get points for it, So I'm ready. I'm ready for Armageddon. I'm taking all these little bitches out. So this is a good little appetizer, and get ready, warm up. So bring it, Jason Beershears. Just bring it, because I'm ready. I got my visions. I know what's going on. I could tell you exactly all of what happened in Egypt. I could explain to you what Giza is. If you spent all those years pouring through books, just reading round like a dog chasing his tail, around and around and around in a circle you went, never getting to the truth, and still believing, oh yeah, I've got it. Here he is. Let's look. He's up here. He's talking.
It can't be false either. We have here some definitive evidence and proof of the simulacrum. It's astonishing. Enjoy the video. The content concerns.
The proof of the simulacrum evidence. He says he doesn't have any proof of it. Then he says, I have some proof of it. Which one is it?
A timeline. An Anunnaki timeline.
An Anunnaki timeline. Right there. That's just screams fake truth. Okay. There is no time. Okay. And the person who wants you to believe in time is the beast. It's Kali, and it's Lucifer and Satan. They're the ones who created time to imprison your mind. Their matrix is a time matrix. Look at time matrix. That's what the word means. Timex. They even had a watch called Timex matrix. So he's trying to imprison you in a mind prison. Don't let him do it. Do not let him do it. And here he is. Anunnaki, like I said, is fake. So let's keep going.
Throughout world history, known in the ancient records. cited by so many different historic authors. A 600-year timeline.
Cited by so many different authors, so many different satanic puppets. Case closed. So what? So there's all these authors. That makes it true? Shh, give me a break. That's like saying, oh, well, look at how many news anchors have said that the was real. I guess it makes it real, right? Dumb on.
It is unbroken all the way to 1962. It is absolutely incredible what happens in these years.
He's a good talker. He's a good deceiver. It's the devil. Don't let him do it. Don't let him trick you.
And when the entire synthetic chronology is put together, the conclusions are inescapable.
The conclusions are not inescapable. The one thing this guy has never considered is what I've said, and that is there's a simulation made by the beast system that's trying to suck you in, that's inside of God's reality. And that the people that are already NPCs, that are already cybernetic beings, can't see outside. They're not hooked into, I'm hooked into God's reality. If you're a natural born human that didn't take the jabs, you're hooked into God's reality. But these people aren't. So, when you tell them simulation theory, it makes a lot of sense to them, because in their world, yeah, they're in the video game. They're in the Matrix. See what I'm saying? But nobody's ever, this is Satan's trick, is to define the terms of the argument. So the argument is there or isn't there a simulation? Well, that's not really the argument, because the argument is there a simulation inside of God's reality? That's the real question. But when you let Satan tell you what the question is and define the terms of the argument and ace out the real question, then you can never get to the truth. And that's what the whole truth narrative is about keeping you from asking the real important questions and giving you two fake choices. Is it Biden or is it Trump? Is there a simulation or is there not? See what I mean? That's not the question.
We're being manipulated. We're being corralled into belief systems.
Oh.
Enjoy. This is Jason at Archaix.com.
Oh, really?
Forgive me for my voice. I'm really doing good. I'm in full recovery.
So anyway, I had enough of this. I think you get the point. But yeah, this guy, I'm just going to keep hammering on him. I would just email him. If you turn in the devil, that's not ratting. That's doing God's work, And, report his videos. The guy's always breaking the law, and he does all these report parties on the small channels. So let him see what it's like, And so people need to light a fire under this guy. He's basically the Kenneth Copeland of fake truthers. And he needs to be held accountable. So this is San Francisco Truth, and I'm here for you, and I don't want any money or anything. So you figure it out. You do the math. Okay, gotta go. Bye. So here's our friend, the old dragon. But I do know this: he still seems to be enjoying his bourbon and coffee.
I'm gonna drink to that. I'm going to drink to that.
So it's stolen content. he's trying to, Hollywood up and sell, and now he's drinking to it. So.
Let's see here. We got a car key, piano key, skeleton key.
Rock